So you said that for the last year or so, you wanted to focus a little bit more on the business stuff, right? And then this time around, you wanted to come back and remind people that you're the best rapper alive. What changed? Why are you laughing?
The way you repeated it, though, like,
You don't think it's true? You should.
Wait, I said.
But what changed for you?
I said on stage, I said how I felt about my art. I think when you look at like art and you go to a gallery and you might see like a fine piece there, a new contemporary artist just on the wall, price $1 million, give or take. It's hypothetical shit, like, you know what I mean? Just an analogy. So price $1 million. There might be somebody who has no cultural or like relevance or a connection to it, right? Might come along and just be like, this is horse shit. Like, in my opinion, this is worth $20. That's what it is with art. I feel like I'm one of the best artists out right now. Yes, I do.
You've said that if you're not a rapper, you would be an interior designer.
Yeah.
If you did a Rocky furniture line, what would that look like?
A mixture of like Tim Burton's world. Okay. Mixed with like Alice in Wonderland, Wes Anderson infusion with Rocky slapped on it. I'm into mixing like Victorian like decor and just like pieces like bronze and old like trinkets and whatnot with new contemporary like furniture, couches from designers and artists, like a lot of modern furniture. I think I'm a Libra. The balance of both is just appealing. It's attractive. It brings out a different feng shui.
So I think it's interesting when you first came onto the scene, you were mixing high fashion and streetwear, and now everybody wants to do that.
You look on the runway or you look at the ads and the campaigns and whatnot, and it's a lot of like black models or just like, darker people modeling. It's beautiful, man. Before, it was only like a few selective brands who would actually like, work with diverse people or just people of color and minorities and whatnot. And I'm in the airport now and I'm just looking around and you see Burberry, Balenciaga, you see this, you see Gucci, you see that. And it's just like, this is beautiful, man. Like, this is how the world looks. This is how it should be.
What do you think about Virgil at Louis Vuitton? Because that's a big deal, yeah.
He's one of the people to represent, and I think that was a dope decision.
Is there a brand or a fashion house like you would be a creative director for? Like, is that something that you even want to do?
I mean, listen, man. LV and Mace might have to holler at your boy Flocko one time. We don't know, man. Big Augies here. You heard? Come holler at the big Augies and all that. Already.
How would you describe Og? Like, is it?
I think it's a collective of like young creatives, like from people who make music to people who draw, designers, all that. It's just like, for lack of better words, like a ghetto Google.
Do you have like a goal or plan for what you want Og to be?
Just great, hopefully, with the grace of God. Just greatness, man. We just want to make dope shit. No lie. This is some fly shit. Getting a Y right there. You zooming in up there? You got, all right, that's very rare. Already. And he over here. What's good, my guy? You couldn't wait for your shout out. You right there though. Like, don't even trip. I got you. It's your birthday. My guy on his Instagram back there.
I just want to talk to you about real quick, like 3 people that you're inspired by and 3 people you've talked about a lot, and just what it is about them that you're inspired by. So first we have Andre 3000.
The first time I saw Andre, I was weirded out by him. I was a little kid, man, and he had on like these big furry like camo goat Chronicles of Narnia pants on, with like shoulder pads, like football shoulder pads, and he might have fuck around had a pot on his head, like a real fuck
pot?
A pot, like a tin.
Cooking?
Yeah, like a pot.
Okay.
I'm serious. And I forgot what video it was for. It might have been like Rosa Parks, but somehow his music was enticing, it was intriguing, and before I knew it, I was a fan of him and Big Boy. And I love how he went from music to fashion to film.
Let's go to Nigo.
Yes, Nigo's son.
What is it about him that inspires you, and like when did you first learn about Nigo?
Nigo's an OG. Nigo is, his OG is Hiroshi. Like Nigo is like, I would say like how he influenced people's style. Nigo is just as important and significant to hip hop as a Pharrell or a Slick Rick or a Kanye. Not as far as musical ability, not in anything, just exclude music out. Even though, you know, he was a great DJ and he had the Teriyaki Boys. I wanna say Nigo almost made me cry on my 25th birthday. He gave me a trunk, a Goyard trunk. And he had like some Star Trek and like these Nigo stamps all over him. And he knew it was my birthday and he just came and said, I heard you like Goya. And just dropped it. And I was just like, he just dropped it on the table. Like, damn, yo, that's crazy. Like, oh, yo, good look. My nigga right there. You know what I'm saying?
So last person, Kid Cudi.
The Cutter is the fucking man. He's dope as fuck, man. He is dope, like big bruh.
Yeah.
I love you. I love Cudi, man.
Do you remember the first time meeting him?
Yeah, I do actually. It was the first time I met him was like, through Skype.
What? Did not expect that one.
I was talking to Matt Williams.
The designer.
Yeah, we go. And basically, he got on the camera and was just like, yo, what up, yo? He was like, yo, that song was you and Schoolboy, Hands on the Wheel thing, that's tight. I was like, oh shit, tight. So the first time I met him was at a concert or a festival. He invited me on his trailer. He started playing some shit. It was some shit from Indicut. And I was like, yo, that's crazy. And I think like a year later, we worked on some shit and he dropped Indicut.
What is it about him that you
know, Cudi, everybody you just named, from Cudi to Nigo to Andre 3000, all influence music, especially hip hop, style and fashion. And I fall in the light of all of those. That's why I admire these guys, because you know they all was doing it before I came in the game. You know, and it's just dope to meet people that you admired, and for them to actually turn out to be actually like humble and cool people.
This is your third studio album, but your first without Yams' guidance. What was that like for you working on this project?
It wasn't the same without Yams, you know. It's with any legacy that loses a pioneer, you gotta keep going. I don't think it was ever at a place where Yams was like picking it through the no, yes, no, I don't. Yams is a spirit, he's an energy, and he was always about like discovering new talent and trying to put new people on and whatnot like that. And I think that's where what validated him in hip hop, and also his knowledge to different genres and different musics. That always helped, you know. We miss him. Rest in peace, A$AP Yams. And I think I had to do what Puff had to do when Biggie died, or anybody who loses somebody.
So you went to Berlin to finish up the album, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Why Berlin?
I feel like Berlin still has like a big appreciation for like hip hop culture. I still feel like energy, and like when I go there and just the architecture, and you still see graffiti everywhere, like real artists and real art and cobblestone roads. There's nothing wrong with just taking that all in, you know. And it was perfect. Like I had Kanye come help me on that. Most Def. We had Dave Chappelle. It was a few people. It was a great time. It was with all the homies, man, you know.
What was the craziest thing about that experience, like having all those people?
Like MG&T came, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I had some of my favorite people come, but it was in Berlin of all places, like, you know, and it was just like, Kanye turned the hotel we were staying into, which is my favorite place to stay, he turned it into like a Yeezy compound, like, you know what I'm saying? He was designing sneakers in one suite, designing stuff in another, making music in one suite, and I was making music in my suite. It was crazy. So we shut down the whole hotel. We threw a party on the roof just with us. Like we could have did it in the room, but we was just on the roof, just drinking and like just talking about life.
You said that this album was about testing new sounds, right? And a lot of the songs, or all the songs that you dropped recently, don't really sound alike. How would you describe the album sonically?
I've always been experimental with my music, even leading back to like LSD on the last album. With this one, it's more concentrated and calculated. And on top of that, I've discovered sounds I've never heard before, so I'm trying to manifest all of that into my new stuff. I'm trying to go platinum first week, let's get it. Yeah, facts. On some Cardi B shit times 12, you heard? Now let me ask you some goddamn questions around this.
Like, there's nothing in this.
I mean, can I see the thing? You can ask me some
questions
I'm
about
not gonna look
this
at your questions. Can I see the thing? You fucking on my look, just put this in the front. I ain't trying to, I got you. So listen, you're tuning in with Complex right now. We're about to go for a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with you in 1 sec. Yo, welcome back, guys. You here at Complex, it's your boy, Pretty Flacco again. This is part 2 to our little interview, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking handsome as ever, as you can see.
Skin glowing again.
You feel me? You know, we got everything, you know, copacetic. Oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Everything copacetic and whatnot, but you got a question for me? Alright, you asked me a question. Go ahead.
So now that we're back, we've listened to some of the music, so I just want to talk to you a little bit about that. Do you have a favorite song on the album so far?
Yeah, I do.
Can you say which one it is?
The Kids Turned Out Fine.
Why is that one your favorite?
Because it's just like, it's a topic that I feel like all adults, all parents, even, you know, to an extent, we all kind of face or question. You know, will your kids turn out fine? Will your children be okay? Well,
when you were recording that, did you kind of know how you wanted it to sound off the bat, or like how did you kind of land on that sound?
Going into that one, yeah, I did. I was under trippy drugs that day, under the influence, and it kind of like helped me just like lay it all down on the table and on the line and just say fuck it. Like, you got to speak on the topics that they afraid of. Like, you know, the parents sip the wine, the kids sniff the lines. The kids pour the lines. The kids turned out fine. It's cool. It's a generational thing, you know? Because when the parents were your age or the children's age, they were doing the lines.
So you have that song, All Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
Oh, Praise the Lord. Let's talk a little bit about that, because that one, I really like that one. The beat on that one is hard, and you have a feature on that.
Shout outs to Skepta, man. That's featuring Skepta, Praise the Lord. He produced it.
What was that recording session like with Skepta? I know you guys are friends and you record often in London, but...
All right, so I know this guy in London. He's actually a professor at a college, and he does studies on psychedelic drugs. So he came over to monitor us and record us while we were recording the process under the influence. So everybody was under the influence.
Yeah.
It just turned into like this weird testing, experimental kind of situation. I can't even explain it. This whole album's been a process. It took years, but it's not like I'm just giving y'all songs. Everything has a significant meaning or value, and all of it has substance that pertains to my situation, you know, as an individual. So with this new shit, it was just like these psychedelic drugs, and I've been doing research on, you know, Einstein and Steve Jobs and how they say like if a person can endure LSD, it kind of qualifies them as, you know, as a genius. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, oh shit, you know. So, you know, I needed more insight for me, I don't know why I have so much sentimental value to the song. It's not even out yet. You know, it's just like, it takes me back in a place in my childhood or past life that I can't even explain, man. It's just nostalgic, and I don't know why, you know.
So there's that other song too, we won't say the name. Your description of it earlier was interesting. You were saying it was like pain, it was about teardrops, raindrops, all that stuff. Let's talk a little bit about that and like the meaning behind it, how you came to writing that song.
I wanted to make my emotional song without being too emotional. You know how Jay-Z said, I can't see it coming down my eyes, so I gotta make the song cry. Yeah. And that just was what it was. That's basically what it's like. It's just like pain drops, teardrops, heartache, plight, demise, all that kind of shit. You just kind of, you got to speak on it, because even with success of any empire or just any situation, and I think there's always going to be some form of like plight.
Was there something specific that inspired that song?
Yeah, it is losing people. You know, losing someone, rather it be a family member, a companion, just a friend, or business partners, anything. It's just losing people.
You know, you have that other song where you're talking about, earlier saying kind of like your iteration of the story of kids who normally come from the hood who want to be rappers and drug dealers. So what are some of the other things that you're kind of tackling in this album?
That one is called OG Beepers. And the reason why I chose to name it OG Beepers was because growing up, a beeper, a pager, a two-way was our iPad and shit like that. Yeah. So if you had a pager, I mean, you was lit, you know what I'm saying, in the 90s. But I was a child, like literally 8, 10 years old, like around these times. And I got hand-me-down pages from my brother and whatnot, my dad. And then it just, you know, kind of, the narrative goes to like a place where I, you know, kind of got a little bit older and evolved, and I just, you know, I first started selling drugs on the corner, you know, posted on the corner like a trapper. Why he move his hands all around like a rapper? Why he move his pants up and down like a scrap? Like, I realized my whole life, I just wanted to be a rapper like everybody else. And this is my story. I got a story that's similar to everybody's, you know, and here's my story about how I went from rapping, selling drugs, going to jail, doing fashion, all type of shit. Shit that I'm not proud of, shit that I don't like to glorify, and shit that I love talking about every day.
Was there a muse for testing?
Yes. Wow. Whoa. Wow. Okay. For testing, it was more so I mused everyone. I look down a block, you go down a block, man, you see a kid, you might be like 16 or some shit. Some motherfucker got, he Raffy Ricky down. You look, you see the new girl, just, this girl, she just rocking braids, and I'm giving you examples leading up to what I'm saying is like, everybody inspired this new shit. I'm just looking at like my influence, man.
Throw a name out there like Kanye or whatever, putting out an album. Does that inspire you to go even harder?
Yeah, sure, why not? Kanye worked on my album.
Yeah.
This album, so yeah. It's like friendly sparring, you know? I mean,
did Tyler do any production for this album?
Yeah, Tyler, okay. Kanye, Dean Blunt.
Oh yeah, you
Dean
mentioned,
Blunt worked a lot with me on this album. Dean Blunt helped me a lot, but more so than everything, man, shout outs to Hector Delgado. Shout outs to my brother Hector, man. He's always there and he's always just pushing the ball. Hector helps me with anything. Hector has been coaching this whole thing. Hector has been busting his ass. Is
there something that you kind of learned from how they work that...
Everybody has like different strategy and shit like that, man. It's crazy, different tactics. Ye is, his shit is more like sample and soul driven. You feel that shit. It won't even have like a chord progression yet, or it won't even have drums on it, but you just hear chords and you just like, damn, you know? Tyler, he gives you like that Neptune meets fucking, I don't know what, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Tyler's just so ill with his shit, but he plays too goddamn much, bro, because Tyler, like, he do, bro, we always are, because he'll make a beat, and he'll see if you like it, and if you go too crazy, he like to do whack shit, like, nah, that shit was whack, let's do another night, bro, stop fucking playing with me right now, bro, on some G shit before we start fighting, bro. Like, he plays too much. Tyler played too goddamn much. Who was the other person you asked?
Hector.
Hector is the fucking man, because Hector is a chameleon. His sound he can make anybody sound. He can bring his world into anyone's sound, and that's the hardest thing with artists. People don't know how to mix worlds.
Right.
To where it's just like, oh, now this is not a ASAP Rocky sound. It's our sound now.
Is there anybody that you wanted to work with for this album, but maybe didn't get to?
Yes. Will you help me reach them?
Who is it?
Portishead.
Oh, okay.
I really want to, but both of them, like, you know what I mean? I want to work with Portishead, and they develop a sound that even hip hoppers didn't develop, and they weren't really trying to just do rap, and it just kind of trickled down to its own genre of trip hop. It was just trippy hip hop, and they took samples and trippy shit and married it and just like made beautiful babies and shit called songs.
The songs that you played, they don't sound alike, but they still sound like Rocky. And I think what's interesting about you is you've always managed to rap and make songs that could fall into different genres. I
want it to be substantially authentic, you know, and just original, especially to me. And I hope it will inspire, you know, the generations to come to make some like other shit opposed to keep making like what's easy,
what's popular now,
what works.
Musically, do you think that there's a producer or an artist who you work with best, or who brings out the best in you?
ASAP 12.
Yeah.
He's everything to me, man. Like, he motivates the shit out of me. That's my brother. As far as my other peers that like inspire me, I would say right now it's my brother Tyler and my brother Frank, man. Like, working with those two guys has been quite the experience, you know, and I'm just glad that in my lifetime, it's just, you don't find people who genuinely like get
each other, yeah.
You get, and I'm just glad that on a creative level, like, everybody gets it. Those guys are
I love
genius.
Telephone calls. That
was Tyler rapping, playing. Yeah. Tyler's new shit is crazy.
Yeah.
Whew. Tyler's new shit is crazy, and you know, I'm not even lying, honestly. Sonically, it's just like he challenged himself in a different way.
Yeah.
It's not even like Flower Boy. His next album is just a new wave. But I still want to be able to like magically produce things with my own two hands.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's annoying to...
Well, because sometimes too, it's like you see a vision in your head and it's hard to explain to someone.
You know, I think that's what makes a dope group or partnership or relationship. It's just when you guys have lines of communication that's compatible, because that's all it is as far as human beings and human nature. It's just communication is what separates us. When you could find somebody that understands what you're saying and shit like that, and fuck vernacular, vocabulary, enunciation, pronunciation, ebonics. I'm just talking about like when you can actually translate what you mean and someone can actually execute that from what you told them. That's what you call a perfect marriage in my eyes.
Yeah. What would you say has been like the best advice that anybody has given you to help you kind of navigate you know, your career or evolving as an artist?
I've got some of the best advice from Danger Mouse. I got some of the best advice from Michelle Lamy. Mm-hmm. I got some of the best advice from Raph Simmons, Frank and Tyler, and my brothers.
What does someone like Michelle Lamy say?
You're an artiste. You're an artiste. Don't be afraid. You're so straight.
Yeah.
Like, she get mad all the time. You're so straight. Like, what you mean? Yeah. Like.
What would you want to say, or is there anything that you want to say to fans or to people who know Rocky or don't Rocky about like who you are right now, like in this moment? Right now is a significant point in my time and career and shit like that. You know, I have a lot of artists that are signing me and
big superstars, rock stars. I'm in the other fields within my career, but I need to circle back and show them, like, you know, this is where it started. This is the origin of my legacy and why I really do this shit. My music is ahead of its time, you know? And usually I feel like people who share the same kind of taste level as me, they get it right away. But that's just a niche market and demographic. But the masses usually catch on to what you mean or what you're trying to say or what you did 2, 3, 4, and 5 years later. You know, to the point where you just sit back and you just like look at music like, oh shit, man, I see myself in you,
Yeah.
you, and it's beautiful. Everybody's making music and shit, like, it's only right. I don't wanna just put out shit when everybody all quiet, like, you know, nah. Now the champions are coming back out and making real music, and it's time. So everything I give you is just gonna be raw and pure, you know, and for those who want that, I'm your guy. That's it. I'm just testing sounds and waters and testing my followers. Let's get it, man. It's the new wave. Let's go. You ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. Well, Complex, there you have it. It's ASAP Rocky. Say something for the camera. You was all right, let's do this again. Yo, what's up, y'all? This is ASAP Rocky.
Cariza. I don't know which camera I'm looking at.
Wait, oh, should we look at this?
Oh.
All right, let's do that one more time. What's up, guys? ASAP Rocky here.
Cariza. Wait, let me do that again. No, let me do it again.
Yo, imagine you doing drops at a radio station. This is funny.
I'm not made for this.
What's up, y'all? ASAP Rocky here.
It's Cariza.
And we signing off with Complex, man. It was a great interview. See y'all motherfuckers next time, man.